Industrial Revolution, Part 17. Well, Industrial Revolution brought transformation, the social transformation, economic transformation, political transformation, and so on. Let's talk about the social transformation. The economic modernization resulted in major social tensions in the industrialized world. While the middle class grew, urban poverty had increased as well, and with it, political instability. Nevertheless, governments adapted to the changing times and addressed many of the new problems created by the Industrial Revolution. The Industrial Revolutions transformed social structures. There were the new mega rich industrialists and bankers. Now, wealth was far less dependent on ownership of land. So, that was the end of feudal lords, and there emerged the financial lords, the industrialists, the bankers, the capitalists. With the expanding economy, there was a need for college educated middle class. So, the college educated middle class professionals were needed, such as engineers, lawyers, accountants, doctors, dentists, merchants, bankers, teachers, architects, nurses, and white collar civil servants. They were the demand of the society and they led the society. Many professions were now certified with specialized education such as medicine, law, and education. Following the example of China, civil service exams were used in most of the Western Europe. Governments claimed to staff bureaucracies with men based on talent and merit rather than birth. Overall, this emerging middle class based its status on wealth and education instead of birth and titles. The other major class that emerged was the working class, who were typically factory workers, construction workers, and miners. Increasingly, Europe's working class lived and worked in cities but were at first peasant migrants from rural areas. Their living and working environment were drastically different. For one, working in a factory required regimented discipline. There were bells to start and end the work, and designated break periods. In the countryside, these workers were free to set their own pace, break their own periods, and have an independence of the professional course. Secondly, the agricultural worker in Europe had a personal relationship with the landlord. Theoretically, the European peasant lived in a mere economy. Theoretically speaking, theoretically, the European peasant lived in a moral economy where the landlord knew the worker by name and oftentimes assumed a moral obligation for the well being of his workers. Of course, that was not the case with the industrialists and the capitalists.